Okay, hello and welcome to my short introduction into how exactly my game WebglCS works. And first off, if you want to play the game, excuse me, you can play it simply by opening Chrome and then going to webglcs.herokuapp.com. After you've done that, you will be greeted with this menu, the loading screen, and to simply press F11 to enter full screen mode. To play, just click on single player or multiplayer, whatever you would like, and you're in the game. It's pretty straightforward, but what justifies making this video is the options, which are really not that good explained right now, but I will change that. So first off, you have this online option. You can press on multiplayer, which will bring you from single player to multiplayer and from multiplayer to single player. You don't need to reload the level after you've done that, which is in contrast to other options which are included here, but yeah, this is pretty useful. And then you have also the nickname. This is the default nickname, anonymous, and you can also enter some other like quote, which is a reference to the game this game is inspired from, CaveStory. If you haven't heard of it, I strongly suggest you should look it up. Then you have camera type. Basically you have 3D and 2D, and it's pretty self-explaining. Like you have here 3D, you can look at these borders, no, not borders, at these up at the sides of the walls. And if you click 2D, you won't be able to look at the sides of the walls. Yeah, that's the big difference. And then you have ambient light. You can set it higher. This might make it a bit clearer if you can't see something, but I think it kind of removes a bit of that atmospheric touch from every level. So it's up to you to decide which setting is the one you prefer. So then you have shadows and bump mapping. They do work somewhat if you use the command line, but right now they are not integrated in the menu. So in the future I will possibly add them again, but shadows is really high on the GPU, so I suppose most modern PCs won't. Most PCs won't be able to run it, even modern PCs. First I would need to tidy up some of the code which actually renders the scene. And then you have bump mapping, which actually should work with most PCs, and yeah, it's still pretty high on the GPU, so I would recommend only using it on modern PCs. This is the video setting. Then you have the audio setting, which is not there yet because, well, I haven't added any audio yet. And then you have this level menu. So what you need to understand is how this game actually loads different files. Like for example, you can have a level which is pretty much just a .json file. For example, the level I am currently in is called cavepillars.json. Well, it makes sense because here's some pillar, there's also another pillar, and I think it's in a cave. So yeah, that's why it's called cavepillars.json. But if you would like to have some different levels, you can just click here on show levels, and it will show you all the different levels which are in the current folder levels where I store the game. We can look that up here. If you go into the GitHub repository and we look under the folder levels, there will be a number of different JSON files. For example, this where is it? Cavepillars.json. So yeah, you can also enter a different URL though, if you for example would like to load a level from your server address.org/levels or whatever you can also load levels from there. Just enter the name here, and then click on that, and it will load all the different levels which are located on this server, or just in the folder on this particular server, where the address you enter here. So right now these are the levels which are on my server. So if I, for example, click on this one, you will see it changes the name here. On this one it changes the name there. And after it has changed the name here, just click on change level and the loading screen will appear. And yeah, well, you will be in another level. This memory space is something more advanced users might like to use, but it's just for managing memory, obviously, and it's just for fine-tuning. Later on, if you have a story or something and you need to load different levels fast, you could load one level into the first memory space and then another level in the second, and yeah, it's just out of convenience, so you don't need to load every level at the each time you want to visit it. So this is the level category, and then you have this personal category. First off, the player image. This one uses the same kind of loading mechanism that is used in the levels. First you have an address. In this example it is users and then chars. So if you click here on credits again and then open the GitHub repository, you'll see users and then chars. And here's a bunch of different files. What really interests you is those .json files, the mychar.json, the player.json, and the player curly.json, which says there are 3 different players, player models, and you can just, where is it, personal, you can just show all the different player sprites or models that are on this particular address. So there's this one and this one and this one. Right now I'm using this one, but I can, for example, change it to this one, which will again change what is standing here. Just click on that, and for this to really change anything, you will need to reload the level. So just click on level and then change level, and after it has reloaded the level, you will see I'm now a different sprite. One more example. Here I will change it to the girl, and now I should have this blonde gorgeous hair. Yeah, I do have that, so perfect. Now on to the next part. On personal, you can see weapon. There's a weapon list, and it uses the exact same mechanism used in the player image list and the levels. You have an address, in this instant the user weapon location, where all the different weapons are located. So we click on users, just user, and then weapon, and you have different files here. What really always interests you is those .json files. They just store all the different information, and the PNG files, they are just representations of the different files used in the JSON files. For example, we have this machine gun here, which you will see right now. So what you really want to do is click here. It defaults to this address, user weapons. If you click it, it will just open up all the different weapons which are currently on the server. But you can also add another server. By the way, this also works in multiplayer, so if you have weapons stored on a different server, you can load those weapons from that server and play in multiplayer with those weapons. Even the other players can see them then. So if we load a weapon here, like for example Polar Star, just click on it, and you will see here it changed the image. Concentrate on that. So if I click something else, it will change the weapon, but right now we will stick to the Polar Star. And here, as you can already see, I shoot it by simply clicking on the screen. And yeah, that's what's most important. By the way, some weapons have some recoil. For example, the Schrotgewehr has a bit bigger recoil, or no, knockback, that's how it's called. So you are knocked back a bit, and some weapons like the machine gun actually allow you to float because they have this much knockback. So yeah. And this is pretty much the most important stuff. Some other stuff will still need to be implemented again because I reworked the menu, for example the chat. It doesn't open anymore, so this is something that will be implemented later on. And if you are still interested in finding out more, just click on the official CaveStory forum post and you will be redirected to the forum, and you can look up different stuff here. So I hope you will have fun, and yeah.